and he's being rewarded. The world's richest person should be somebody that's fixing and fighting climate change. I think the reality is that Tesla is a distributed energy business, right? And I'm telling you right now, Scott, the big disruption that's coming is to power utilities. There are trillions of dollars of bonds, of capex, of value sitting inside the energy generation infrastructure of the world that is going to go upside down. And when that goes pear-shaped, Tesla will double and triple again.
Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So today I'm reacting to some comments from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Chamath Palihapitiya, billionaire investor, absolute savage, and brilliant orator. I know my audience well enough to know that the majority of you both know and highly respect Chamath Palihapitiya, otherwise I wouldn't be able to introduce him so epically because you'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? But here's the thing, Chamath Palihapitiya in the past has been extremely supportive and positive towards Tesla stock, and Elon Musk. And far more importantly than that, he's been completely fucking right. Chamath has what unfortunately appears to be a fairly unique ability to think and reason clearly, cut through the noise, and make inferences based on today's information that will play out very accurately in the future. It's almost like hearing somebody with a time machine coming back from 2025 or 2030 and saying, hey guys, I've been to the future, here's what's going to happen. So, let's see what Chamath had to say. But first, hey guys, if you live in the US and you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 4 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 2 free stocks between $2.50 and $250 each just for opening an account. And if you deposit $100, you'll get a further 2 free stocks valued between $8 and $1,600 each. That is an obnoxiously good return on your investment. I mean, really, deposit $100 and you'll end up with, at minimum, $21 worth of stocks, a 21% ROI on your money. And if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
Chamath, you mentioned rocket fuel, and it's a loaded question, but nonetheless, maybe the epitome of all of this is Tesla, which is up 700+% over the last year. I think you're still a shareholder, right? Have you sold any shares? What do you make of that in and of itself? 700% in a year? Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world as of today, passes Jeff Bezos.
Friends, family, and acquaintances of mine going back many years will have heard me regurgitate the same comments over and over and over. Kind of sounds like my YouTube channel. One of them in particular, Elon Musk is the most valuable person on planet Earth, and his net worth will catch up to that over time. Yes, I did just pass a value judgment. Yes, Elon Musk is more valuable as a human being than you are. Deal with it. Did I trigger anyone with those statements of fact? That's a shame, isn't it? It was only a matter of time before the world's most useful person eventually became the world's most wealthy person in terms of financial resources. And lucky for us, somebody that's having so much positive impact on so many people alive today and in the future, being able to amass large amounts of financial capital and human capital. I mean, just look at the world's best engineers. They all work for Elon Musk. This is a good thing. This allows Elon to further extend his positive impact and be even more useful in the future.
It's really incredible, actually. I mean, he's somebody I've known for a really long time. I've looked up to him for a long time. And here's what I would say, that he built a great car company, and somewhere along the way, about 5 or 6 years ago, what I thought he was building was an energy company, and that eventually people would realize that climate change actually mattered. And it's taken 5 or 6 years for everybody to realize the same thing.
Let me show you visually what it looks like when the market for half a decade fails to recognize the intrinsic value or the future potential of a company like Tesla. Well, what do we have here? The Tesla stock price chart. Now, Chamath was talking about a period of 5 or 6 years where the market failed to recognize the current and future potential of Tesla, its dominance, and its true overall impact on the world. And we can see that reflected very clearly in the Tesla stock price chart. Let's look at this period from, let's call it 2014, March, running forward about 4 or 5 years. Notice that the stock basically traded sideways. Look at this. In June 2019, you could buy Tesla stock cheaper than you could buy it in March 2014. Now, if you go back and look at Tesla's revenue, their production growth, all of this kind of stuff, you'd scratch your head and go, wait a minute, why did the stock do nothing? That's the whole point. This is literally why I poured every spare cent that I had into the company for a period of about 5 years, going, hey guys, like what is going on here? This is insane. Like, okay, well, no one wants to listen. I'll just keep buying myself. Shout out to everybody who's been messaging me over the past 12 months. Hey man, I really wish I bought Tesla stock when you wouldn't shut the fuck up about the company. Well, anyway, the past is the past. But this is the point. Visually, we can see right here. This is exactly what Chamath is talking about. Tesla stock trades sideways. It shouldn't have, but it did. This was an enormous opportunity for everybody who understood what the company would do. And now in the span of about 18 months, we've seen the stock go vertical to the moon, to Mars, and beyond.
And he's being rewarded. You know, the world's richest person should be somebody that's fixing and fighting climate change. I think the reality is that Tesla is a distributed energy business, right? They are figuring out how to harness energy, how to store it, and then how to use it in a way to allow humans to be productive. Cars are a manifestation, but you know, solar panels are as well, power walls are as well.
These words will come to look rather prophetic from Chamath. We're on the same page, everyone is asleep on the energy opportunity. Let me explain the 3 stages of understanding Tesla's business. Right now, the general consensus is around stage 1.5. What do I mean by this? Stage 1 is everybody realizing, oh shit, Tesla is going to dominate vehicle production, electric or otherwise, in the future. They've won vehicles. People are starting to recognize this now, and a little bit of the next stage, which is autonomy, robo-taxis. That's right, money printers on wheels completely disrupting the way that we use and access transportation in the future. This is partially being factored into Tesla's current valuation. Not entirely. A lot of people don't buy it. Some people understand it's around the corners. Others, like myself, see it as inevitable. And the third stage, which basically nobody is talking about or recognizing at this point in time, is the energy opportunity. As I've shown you guys in the past, there are trillions of dollars of disruption ahead just in the energy business. Everyone is asleep on this opportunity. So you can mark my words. Stage 1, oh, they're going to win cars. Stage 2, holy shit, the robo-taxis are happening, real, and the revenue is going to be a profitable tsunami of cash. 3, oh, they're going to dominate energy and disrupt utilities as well. Wow. Like I said, we're at stage 1.5 now.
And I'm telling you right now, Scott, the big disruption that's coming is to power utilities. There are trillions of dollars of bonds, of capex, of value sitting inside the energy generation infrastructure of the world that is going to go upside down. And when that goes pear-shaped, Tesla will double and triple again.
All right, so just for fun, Chamath there, kind of just throwing out the line, it'll double and triple again. Let's just say Tesla stock was at $800 at that point in time. Let's double that. Now let's triple that. Where do we end up? About $5,000 per share. I think this is a reasonable statement. In fact, I'm going to put it on the record now. By the year 2030, Tesla will be worth well in excess of $5 trillion in terms of market capitalization. Could be as high as 10, maybe even more. This is really dependent on software revenue, robo-taxis, audible, etc., depending how widely that scales. But mark my words, this is my prediction. Tesla will be worth at least $5 trillion market cap by 2030. And guys, please hold me accountable. Set a reminder to check back in 10 years. I'll still be here, I think. Just in case anyone watching harbors doubt as to whether or not Tesla could ever disrupt trillions of dollars worth of industry, let's look at the world's largest companies today by revenue. We might notice a few common themes. Number 2 is an oil and gas company. 3 is an electricity company. 4, 5 and 6 are oil and gas. 7, automotive. 8, oil and gas. 10, automotive. 11, oil and gas. You notice something here? Tesla, with batteries, solar, and autobidder software to distribute energy around the world, is going to disrupt every single one of these companies, who between them generate trillions of dollars of annual revenue. Yeah, it is not going to be pretty.
And I think, I tweeted this a while ago that I thought the world's first trillionaire would be a person fighting climate change. It very well could be Elon.
Guys, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Will Elon Musk be the world's first trillionaire? If so, when will this happen? And if not, who's likely to be the first trillionaire if it's not Elon?
But if it's not him, it'll be somebody like him, but it'll be because of this. Delivering clean energy, allowing the world to be sustainable is an incredibly important thing that will be rewarded by markets and individuals.
And you're just going to ride, you said 2 or 3 times higher than where it is now. You're just going to ride that wave?
Scott, I don't understand why people are so focused on selling things that work.
Oh, Chamath, you are singing my song, brother. I mean, really, this is so important. Let me give you guys a really quick story. Years ago, over a decade ago, when I first thought about investing, I decided on real estate, went to a bunch of meetups, reached out to a bunch of experienced investors, and all asked them the same question. I've been reading a lot of personal development books. One of the questions is like, ask people mistakes they've made. You can learn from their mistakes and not make them yourself. I'm like, hey, that's a really fucking good idea. I'm glad I read this book. So I asked these investors universally, what's your biggest investing regret? What's your biggest investing mistake? They all had the same response. My biggest regret is I bought this asset, it went up a load, I sold it for a massive profit when I didn't even need the money, and now it's worth 10 times what I sold it for. I'm a moron. Why did I sell that? I regret that because I sold that because I'm a moron. Don't be me. And I learned from these people. Everyone had the same fucking mistake. They sold something they shouldn't have when they didn't need the money because they thought they wanted to lock in a profit instead of realizing they had a great high quality asset that would probably continue to appreciate in value over time. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't want to be this person. I don't want to have regrets about my investing. How many shares of Tesla have I ever sold? 0. How many apartments or houses have I ever sold? 0. How many shares of Amazon have I sold? 0. You guys get the idea, right? In my opinion, if you invest in a high quality asset that you believe has strong future growth ahead of it, and you still believe it has strong future growth ahead of it, but then you sell that asset not because you need the money, not because you've identified a far greater opportunity that even factoring in selling, paying capital gains tax, having less capital to use and then redeploying that other asset will provide a better return. Unless you're in a situation like that, if you sell an asset just because you want to lock in a massive profit, but you still believe it's going to appreciate over time and you don't have a better opportunity or an urgent need for the capital today, you're an idiot. Now, don't get me wrong. If you sell a stock and lock in an enormous profit, a huge gain, or you sell some other investment asset, real estate, whatever it is, and lock in a fat profit, you're certainly not going to be a broke idiot. You can't go broke making a profit. But you're probably not going to get wealthy taking a profit either. It's something to consider.
Let's just, I'll make up a number. Let's just say I owned $1 billion of Tesla stock. If I sold it, now I have $1 billion problem. What do I do with that money? What about if it was 100 million? What about if it was just 10,000? 10 billion? It doesn't matter what the number is. The point is that when things are working, you're paid to stay with people that know what they're doing. And this is a guy who has consistently been one of the most important entrepreneurs in the world. And so why bet against him?
Chamath, did you just give me the perfect segue to plug my merch store and once again remind people about my Don't Bet Against Elon shirt? By the way, thanks so much to everyone who supported the merch store. 414 units sold, nearly 420 just of this design alone out in the wild, stimulating some interesting conversations, maybe even sparking up a few new friendships. Anyway, let's get back to it.
It's the same thing with Bezos. Why bet against him? And there are a handful of other people. Anthony Noto, who we just talked to today, is yet another person. You get behind these people who have incredibly strong character, who know what they're doing, who aren't going to bend to short-term profits, and who are just going to drive the train for 10 or 20 years and make the world a better place. Get behind them. The best way to summarize this, by the way, is a friend of ours who we mentioned earlier, Bill Gurley, has this great phrase: when the music's on, you got to dance. And so these guys are dancing. They are in rhythm. They're in flow. Let them do their thing. Get behind them. Don't sell a share. Just let them create value.
Simple yet deceptively powerful words of wisdom there from Chamath. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget, if you live in the US and you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 4 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 2 free stocks between $2.50 and $250 each just for opening an account. And if you deposit $100, you'll get a further 2 free stocks valued between $8 and $1,600 each. And if you're in Australia, the UK or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake also using the link in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.